Okay. Okay, so, okay, new pin check. Okay, so if anybody shows up, okay, so, okay, new pin check. Are you getting an echo? Okay, so if anybody shows up, okay, so, okay, new pin check. Are you
Yep.
getting an echo? So if anybody shows up,
Hello.
yeah, I'm not sure how to really work this, Stephen, because I'm getting an echo. Are you getting an echo, a delay?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm talking. Can you hear me?
No, I've just heard from. Yeah, I'm getting you, please. I'm getting you.
Okay. Okay, so Mara says that she's on the event stream and it sounds fine. Thank you. Trying to. Okay, so we're waiting for our other two.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna just give it a few minutes for the other two to come in because it looks like they're having some connection issues from where they're at.
Yeah. Think so.
Okay, Stephen, so it looks like who we have watching is Mara. That is who we have right now. We have one person viewing the live stream. So, and what is she doing here? Let's see. Okay, well, we experimented, right? We tried. So Zenabia sent me like a slide presentation she made through WhatsApp, but that doesn't work. I mean, I can't show that from my phone, to the screen share. So I asked her if she could email it to me. All right, so Zenabia does not have the link. So I'm going to send it to her again. Okay, so once she gets in, Stephen will go ahead. But we might want to try to do this again. I mean, I did post it to Facebook. I posted it to LinkedIn. So we'll see. Okay, Stephen, can you hear me?
Yes, please, I'm
Okay.
getting you.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Zenabia has the link. I'm hoping that she can get in. So why don't you go ahead and give us a presentation about Hope Revival's children organization and what you're doing in terms of education services for children in Tanzania. Okay, so I see
Yeah.
your presentation's up if you want to go ahead.
Yeah, maybe I can. Have you seen my presentation?
Yes, I see it. It's there. So you can go ahead because there are people viewing right now.
Okay, actually, Hope Revival is a non-governmental organization that is based in Mara, and then we started is a non-governmental organization that is focusing on especially addressing the misplaced children in the community and the youths in critical situations. But if the major focus is on orphans, street children, and the vulnerable children. Hope Revival was started in 2013, April 2013, and we started with the supporting 50 children who are orphan, completely, totally orphans. But as we were just going on, we started them from primary level, supporting them with domestic needs, education, and health as well. Currently, our first student whom we are supporting, they are in high school. We have two students who are in high school, and we have others who are in second level, and the rest are in primary level. As you can see from the photos that I attached below, these are the children whom we are supporting. You can see their lifestyle from the beginning. We have the first one, and going to the second one, we are supporting with different needs. So we have bought them some mattresses. We have table for them to use them in studying. As we continued, HRCO is supporting 2 students in high school and 2 girls in second level through the support from Cindy, who has been very potential supporter to all these students from Form 1 to up to date. Also, we have other 12 students who are in secondary school in different grades, whom we are struggling with by using our own source of income that has been funded by Cindy, such as poultry keeping and the greenhouse project. Cindy is also supporting early childhood and kindergarten school programs of touch children, and is paying monthly incentive to one of our teacher. We have other 13 students who are going to join secondary education next year, 2022. That's a challenge, but our achievement, the program have achieved the last year. We achieved through Cindy supports. We have successfully managed to pay school fees and other scholastic material for 2 high school students and 2 orphans girls in secondary school. Those are the 4 students that Cindy is really supporting up to date. We have 26 kindergarten children who are joining standard 1 this year, 2022. Also, we have other 12 students who are in secondary school in different grades who are struggling. We are struggling with by using our own source for income generating project that has been funded by Cindy, such as poultry keeping, as I highlighted in the past presentation. We have also successfully managed to raise up poultry keeping through support from Cindy. The project has helped to support other 12 orphans who are in second level. Engagement during COVID-19. We involved the tailoring training students in making masks to the children in schools, which has shown high impact to the community. Those are the achievements that we made last year. But the way forward, this year, 2022, to continue supporting the two high school students often to complete their last year in high school in preparation to join university. To continue supporting the secondary student and the newly joining secondary often to continue with their education. Because the last one is to invest more in the incoming generating projects, especially e.g. poultry keeping, tailoring, and horticulture project that will help to support the education program to help the orphans in the community. Actually, those are our way forward on how we are thinking how we can support, we can make this program, education program, to be so sustainable by having investing more in the income generating project, as I have mentioned there above. I think those are the entry point that can help to make the project to make this program to be sustainable, rather than every time asking looking for funds to support them. That's my short brief presentation that I had prepared for today's presentation, please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. Okay, so Zenabia was in the Zoom room and then she bumped out. So I'm gonna see what's going on. In and then out. For anyone that's going to be viewing this or is viewing this live or going to be viewing this in the future, the whole problem with technology, as far as connecting with folks in Africa, is really showing through here right now. So Hope Revival, Impact Girls Liberia, and Tokens of Life Uganda have been working with me for the last week putting this together. And we're all relying on everybody's Wi-Fi. Some of them are working from nothing but a cell phone. And so it's extremely difficult to get all of this to work and work well. So I'm just letting folks know. We're still trying to get to Zenabia and Mukasa. I haven't heard from him, so it could be any kind of technical issue. All right, so thank you, Stephen, for sharing. And I guess what I want to ask you is, you have students that still need support, right? That still need support.
Yeah.
Now.
Yes. Yeah.
One model that Mukasa has with Tokens of Life is an actual sponsorship where someone can sponsor a student for a year's worth of education. Does Hope have such a program?
Yeah, actually, Hope still have not started that program. Maybe I'm really struggling very hard to see how I can get those kind of sponsorship from different areas, but I have not managed to get one that could help the project to assist me in making this sponsorship program. Because when we are talking of sponsorship program, it's very wide, because you need to have that series of information and which organization that they support such a kind of program. What I had came up with, how to look on how I can advertise this program to see whether I can get a person sponsoring one student. I think that could be the best, because And actually I have managed to get one who has accepted to sponsor two students, and still she started with them since last year. And then I think I connected you with that person, and I think that's Pemba now. Yeah, I think Pemba is a student from UB. She has shown an interest of sponsoring two students who are two orphans who are girls, and actually they have done very well. And even she has bought mattresses for the family to support them. And now the girls are doing well. And as well, I was thinking on how I can get more people who are very interested, who are well wishers to support individual child, because somebody supporting individual orphan, it reduces the cost down, because what we see is to see if you can donate $100 to $500 is enough to support a student for some small slight amount, because it's terms of school fees, scholastic materials. I can call it tuition fees and scholastic material, uniforms and full school uniforms. But where the expensiveness, where it comes is it comes in buying the textbook for each subject. It's very expensive. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe we can focus on buying the school rather than putting this in as a group. We can as well focus on how we can see individual people who are having well wishers who can support this kind of children. That's what I'm doing from here.
Okay, so we had a question. They wanted to know if you could talk about girls' education. Do all girls get an education in Tanzania? And if so, what percentage of girls go on to secondary school?
Yeah, all the students, all the girls are in Tanzania, and they're schooling in Tanzania, and they are just coming. They are just going to the public schools, not private schools.
Okay, so can you tell me about private schools? Like,
yeah,
who takes advantage of a private school?
The private schools are being owned by people from individual people and organizations who are well off. Yeah, their cost is very expensive. How people cannot meet the cost of the private schools. They are very expensive. They are very expensive. We are looking on the public schools that are being owned by government. Their cost is very minimal, although the education level of standard is very high. Is very high for private schools. When you get we get a student from joining a private school, is somebody who is is performing well. Unless you are not performing well, you cannot be eligible to join in a private school. It's very expensive, and the private school are basically focusing on business oriented. It's not that they are not providing service. The fact they are providing service, but it's very expensive. But in public schools, is here to support the community as large, especially from the high class, middle class to the lower class. Everybody can fit in that session, but the performance is not good. The performance is not good because even teachers they're so reluctant in class. And that's why you can see in Tanzania, we have after normal class, there is a tuition program for the students who are well off. The families are well off. They pay this after class program. You'll find all children are just going for tuition to get people. We have teachers who have been volunteered to be paid to teach the student after normal classes. in their previous areas.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I want to just, because of the time, I just want to kind of ask some more questions here. The 2 students that PEMBA supports and the 4 students that I am supporting, they are going to public schools?
Yeah, they are in public schools, but
Okay,
for the for the high school. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, for the high school students, they are in a school that is being under government, but this money is administered by the Roman Catholics. Is a school that is at a very high standard. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless your performance is not good, you cannot manage to go to be registered to be enrolled in that school, because
Okay.
it's very it's there. Yeah.
Okay, so for people who are viewing, just to be clear, there are public schools, but students do have to pay fees to be in the public school. There's a uniform fee and there's some supplies. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, I thank you very much for the work that you're doing in Tanzania. Zenabia, can you hear me?
Is muted.
Yeah. Hello.
I can hear you, Cindy.
Okay. Are you going to be able to share your screen to show your presentation? Or do you want me to run it?
Yes, if you can run it, that'll be fine.
Okay, hold on. I got to find it. Okay, so sorry, just pausing for technical. So Zenabia, can you just, while we're waiting for me to download this, because we do have some people watching, can you just introduce yourself and your organization?
Yeah, my name is Zenabia Tiange Taylor. I'm from Liberia. I am the founder and executive director for Impact Girls Liberia, and we work to promote gender equality, but in different ways. We use education, we use mentorship, livelihood, advocacy, and also we do humanitarian interventions as well.
All right, thank you. Okay, so I do have your video up. I am going to share my screen with the sound. So hopefully this will come up right for everybody. And here we go. So this is just some examples of the various events that you've hosted over like the last couple of years. You can see the ones with the folks who are disabled with the masks on. I know that you did work during the pandemic. Obviously, it's still going on. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, at the beginning of the slide, you could see that we were distributing sanitary pads, reusable ones. The pandemic has been difficult for all of us, but there are people who are more at the advantage side of it. So we needed to keep, we just didn't want to close down our operations during this pandemic. We still wanted to reach out to the most underprivileged people, like women in rural Liberia, like where I live. We have issues with menstrual health. It's a big issue for them. It's something that stopped girls from going to school. It's something that stopped women from attending regular um, meeting in town hall. It stops them from going in public to do their daily activities. So we thought that it was necessary to come out during the pandemic and distribute reusable sanitary pads and soap and whatever people needed to prevent COVID. So that's the first slide. And if you look at the second slide, we were dealing with girls. It's our after school program because, and this the reusable sanitary pad program, we distributed over 874 packages, menstrual packages for women with disability, girls in school. And we realized that during the pandemic, we had a lockdown, so most of the schools were closed. Students were not going to school. So we needed to start a program that could serve as a substitute for girls because women and girls are our focus. So if you go see, we were in some communities having mentorship on their different subjects they are doing. We invited some to come, and some schools were still kind of having few girls. They were doing school like per day, like 50 girls who come today, another day, 50 girls who come. So we were also using the opportunity to go out to those schools and talk about the importance of education, how difficult it is now at this time of the pandemic, and how could we manage the pandemic and also be able to stay in school, be updated, so that when we have regular sessions in school, we wouldn't have girls having issues in reintegrating again. And also even we needed them to know that school is still important. They need to protect themselves from early pregnancy to teenage pregnancy, that they needed still to be glued to their books and their note. And so we kind of introduced the after school program, as you can see there. And also with our humanitarian interventions, we had to go to community, we had to respond because women were not selling, offices were closed, nothing was happening. And so for most of these women, especially the women with disabilities, most of them had taken petty loan, they were running their businesses because of the COVID and because of the lockdown nationally that was announced by our president. Nothing was happening. So we had to respond. We had to go out there, provide some food stuff. And fortunately, we also have some friends in the US, like you, who promote what we do, and kind of other people were interested in what we do, and they sent us some food items that were distributed at our leprosy center here, and also with the people with disability. The people with disability are people who we really, really pay more attention to, because in all of the time they have, their issues are different, so we kind of pay more attention to them. So we wanted to keep connected to them even though the pandemic is here, and that's what we've been doing over the years. Also, we had our annual Women and Girls Empowerment Summit. And thank you so much, Cindy, because you helped us to raise some money from the US for this summit. We brought together 75 young women and girls in Liberia, and we brought together influential, over 15 influential women in Liberia from different sector, politicians, entrepreneurs, journalists, because we need we need girls to believe in themselves. We need girls to embrace their sexuality. We want girls to believe that individually they have potentials that are inside of them, and they just need a stage or the platform to help them develop that or bring them out. So our annual Women and Girls Summit, Empowerment Summit, is a summit that brings together different kinds of women that are leading, that are making the change, that are seen as influencers within our country, and also help other girls, you know, be
Hey, Steven, I'm
empowered.
sorry, hold on, Steven, can
And
you mute
also,
yourself?
yeah, and help girls to be empowered in whatever they're interested in. So we've been working over the years. Okay, that's our page. Some months ago, the U.S. Embassy surprisingly visited our office, and they were concerned about what our activities are, what we do, and all of those things. So we are really, really up to the task, and we hope to continue working. This is 2022. We hope to raise the resources we need, the monies we need. Right now, the issue about rape in this part of Liberia is so high. The issue about girls being dropped out of school due to pregnancy is so high. But these are issues really, really we want to look at more, pay more attention to this year. And also we want to establish a responsive accountability room for rape, because we realize that most of the victims are not talking because they don't feel safe in their communities. Their parents don't feel safe either. So we're also looking forward to establishing an accountability lab that will be responsive to rape victims within our county. So these are some of the things we are doing. Yes, and this picture right here on our page, these pictures were taken during our summit. Yeah, we had Muslims, Christians, whatever, girls coming from all over the 15 counties in Liberia to participate in the summit. It was awesome. Initially, we wanted the summit to be a 5-day summit where we could host girls. Yeah, but because of the resources, we couldn't reach our mark. So we just had to do it for a day. And then we are hoping that this year we can have it done for maybe 3 or 4 days, so that the impact can be felt more and girls can really, really be empowered to take up space. Because Cindy, as we continue to talk about gender equality, it is good, but we also need to look at the issue of equity and equality. So we need to create the space, the platform these girls and women need to be empowered, to gain the skills, the knowledge that they need to go out there and make the change that we want to see. Because we can't be talking about gender equality if we are not creating the space or the platform for people to be able to be empowered, to learn, to gain all of the skills they need.
Absolutely.
So thanks to you also for helping us raise some money last year for the summit. We are hopeful and we are looking forward to having a more kind of target in terms of group. Last year was 75. Maybe we could make it 100, 125 this year based on the resources we're going to be raising.
Thank you very much. So I stopped sharing. I just want to go in and double check in the YouTube channel to see if there might be any questions from anybody, because there were questions before. So hold on 1 second. Bear with me. Okay, so the question was, when is your summit held? If I'm not mistaken, you try to do it every fall sometime, but when do you normally try to do your summit?
September.
September, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so that is right now the only question. As you know, I'm also part of the Experiential Learning Network at the University at Buffalo. I've told you about some of the projects that we've worked on. And I guess someone in the chat who's also affiliated with the network, Zenobia, would like to feature your organization, Impact Girls, and maybe put some of your projects up. Remember, we were talking about you all needing like a website similar to what Stephen has, not having to solely rely on Facebook. What I'd like to do with the two of you for the last couple of minutes that we have is, first of all, we do have a GoFundMe going on right now. Let me pull it up. We do have a campaign that we've put together. And let me go to the campaign and copy it. I'm going to bring it up so folks can see it. So I'm going to have that up, and then I just want to ask you both a couple of questions. Okay, so here is the GoFundMe that we have. It's Help African Children Access Education. And if anybody is interested, I will go ahead and put it in the YouTube chat so people can have the direct URL for it. So I guess what the question I have for you all is, we've alluded to this. We've had a number of individuals that have helped you both out by giving you direct funding support. Now, for me, that is usually me sending you something through Western Union. I've worked with you and Stephen trying to find a way for people off your websites or through any other way to do an easy donation. Here in the United States, we transfer money through something called Venmo. I know across Africa, there's different types of cash apps that people can use on their phones. But internationally, trying to get money and funds from donors is very difficult, okay? So the process that we tried to work out is something like this, where we do a GoFundMe into a big, large campaign and then send you individually Western Union. Can you both talk about the impact that that's had on you, like some of the limitations, how you know, what it's been like having to deal that way in trying to get donations and funding? Zenobia, why don't you go first? You have to unmute.
Okay, so can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, all right, so thank you. Mostly we have problem with our network here. So there are times you could go to the bank after raising awareness, asking people to support your campaign, and then they try and send you something through Western Union or MoneyGram, but I know we've been dealing with Western Union. And so the moment you get to the bank, sometimes it becomes difficult to get the money because Western Union might not be operating at that time in Liberia due to the network. Now, I don't understand how that works, but most of the times when you go to the bank, when you get to the banks, that's what they'll tell you, that the system is not working. So it's either you will have to go and find somewhere else to get the money through a loan or something with an interest, or maybe you just kind of reschedule your event, your program, which sometimes it's embarrassing because you've already told people about it. People are expecting, they have expectations, and you're just gonna tell them, well, we can't have this. And you and because of this, so sometimes it's puts you in a tight position. But when the network is fine, it's okay. And also sometimes another thing is most people want to send money through Western Union, but whenever you have to do that, you have to pay sending fees. So those are things sometimes people do complain about. Like if you have $100 US and you want to send that back here for us to do because you want to contribute towards a project or something, if you are sending $100, it's going to be deducted because the sending fees will be coming out of it. So sometimes it puts our helpers in a kind of tight situation, and also we end up having the bad impact. Yeah, that's what I've observed over time.
Okay, thank you. Stephen, how about you?
Yeah, thank you. Actually, that's a good question, but in Tanzania, Western Union is commonly used here. The only service that's very fast and very quickly. Although as Sanivia said, is that you might send, somebody might send you, has a plan of sending you $100, but when reaching to you, then there's a lot of reduction is being on the way come until you get them to receive the money, you get less. But when it comes to other bank services, actually, I have been working with the Western Union several times, but to us it's very fast and it's very easy. You can somebody send your money today within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, then you get your money. But when going to other banks, to other financial services, there's a lot of complication. You might somebody send you through your bank account. It will take 7 to 14 days to mature. So you might find yourself, you get tired of going back. Then that, to me, I rather recommend that Western Union is the best one. But even MoneyGram is also here, but it's in big cities like Dar es Salaam, Dodoma, Arusha, Mwanza. But in these small cities, there's no that kind of services. I think that's what I can say.
Okay, thank you very much. Now there is a couple of platforms out there that say they will allow nonprofits to be able to get money if they're, from other parts of the world. And I know that I've been working with Hope Revival to try and use some of those, and it's still not very seamless. The best way really is kind of a one-to-one donation directly to that sponsoring organization through, like we've said, Western Union, or a campaign like this where we do a GoFundMe. And right now our modest goal is to raise $300 for the organizations. If we can raise more, that would be great. We were going to equally distribute them amongst the three organizations, and try to support the different initiatives that you all have, which are very unique audiences for children, young people, and their education, young girls. Most people don't know too, like if you go onto Facebook, you can do a Facebook post, like raise funds for Facebook through Facebook, but it says that there's only certain countries that they work with. And what's unfortunate is most of the countries that they do international transfers with through a Facebook fundraiser are all in Europe. So there's not any African or Middle Eastern countries, Asian countries that are listed as being ones that you can participate in with like a Facebook fundraiser. So really right now, GoFundMe or a direct Western Union transfer to an organization is really the only way that someone can support or fund work going on in Africa. So, all right, so I'm going to stop sharing. We're going to wrap up our time together. I just want to double check one more time if we have any questions. Okay, so we did have somebody put something in the chat, VOM Red. I'm not sure if that's a platform. It looks like maybe they're coming in from Russia. Okay, so I'm going to double check whatever that was. It might be a platform that they're suggesting for transferring funds. So I want to thank both of you for participating in this time together, talking about the impact that you all have on the education of children and young women and the disabled. I want to thank you so much for the work that you're doing in your countries. You're doing phenomenal work, and everybody appreciates what you're doing. And we're just hoping that through this this YouTube presentation that we've given, that maybe people from other parts of the world who are interested would also like to financially help you, maybe even sponsor a child, or as Zenobia was saying, sponsor something related to the conference that she gives in September. If you're willing to donate and sponsor her conference or any part of it, she does a great job of advertising your sponsorship and all of her promotion materials. So any closing remarks from either one of you? Stephen, anything to close?
Thank you very much, Cindy, for the great work they are doing in supporting the African community. I actually ask you, please don't give up. Keep on supporting us wherever we are, wherever we come to you. You are our mama, so you need to you need to raise us up gradually until we get stabilized by ourselves. Then we can move by ourselves, because we know wherever I'm talking to my children and my students, they're always saying we want to talk to our Mama Cindy. So at times, even this morning, I was with them. They had a small breakfast with me, and they say we would like to talk to Mama Cindy, but I say no. Mama Cindy is very committed in a way, and make you this a weekend. So thank you very much, Cindy. Thank you very much, Zenobia. Although I'm really very anxious to meet you face to face. I don't know when. I know God will open a way so that one day we meet together, please. Thank you very much. All the best, please.
I would love it.
Yep.
Zenobia, how are you?
I'm good, Cindy.
Any closing remarks?
Yeah, thank you. I just can't thank you enough. You know, you've been very much supportive. You are always there. You are not giving up, you know, and you're always finding ways to help us with the work we do. It's rare. I mean, it's happening, but in this part of Africa, it's rare to see people who are interested in your work from overseas, and they are supporting you. And not only that, but also looking for others to support you. Thank you so much. And I'm actually hoping that this year, you know, we talked about starting the reusable sanitary pad project.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I'm hoping this year I can raise some money. I really want to come over to Steve so that I can have the training in Tanzania, so that we can come back here, because distributing sanitary pad monthly to girls is quite expensive. And
it's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable at all. So having the one that is made by us could be, I mean, it's the best option we've got. So I'm looking forward to raising that campaign to see how best I can come over there so Steve can help me with that. But thank you, Mama Cindy. You are a great mother. I appreciate all of what you do. Thank you so much.
I appreciate all of you. I mean, it's just an honor to try and to work with you, support you, come alongside of you. And yeah, it's a goal. If anybody out there wants to help support you, to get you to Tanzania, because Stephen does make reusable sanitary pads. That's one of the projects he did not mention in this presentation today, but he has young women, young girls who are learning how to make them. And Zenobia would love to bring that back to her area of Liberia. It could also be a way to generate some revenue. You never know. You never know what could happen, but it's a skill and a training that is really beneficial, and it will make it sustainable, and it will help young girls who have their periods be able to go to school, because sometimes they just can't, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, bless you both. You have a great rest of your day. It's so many hours difference from us here, but we'll try and do this again, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Maybe do another focus on another topic beyond education, okay?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
Cindy.
All right,
That'll be
you guys
great.
have a great day.